Hi everyone. Today I'm reviewing a task chair by a company called Mainstays. Now recently I built a computer desk by this company, Mainstays. It turned out to be a pretty good desk. Quality was really good and you couldn't beat it for the price. So I thought, I was over at Walmart this week and I saw that they had this fabric task chair they make. So I thought I'd bring it home, unbox it, put it together, show you how that's done, and give a review of it. So let's open this up and put it together. Okay, so let's go right into the unboxing here. Again, this is the Mainstays fabric task chair. It's a swivel seat with height adjustment. Let's see what you got here. So you don't need a knife to do this. I sealed this pretty good. There we go. This flap just comes up like this. Okay, I'm going to just start removing the components out of here. So you got, looks like the back arm of the chair. Here's the bolts and pieces to assemble it. They include an Allen wrench, so I'm assuming that's the only tool we're going to need to build this. Got four, looks like 1, 2, 3, 5 wheels for this chair. Some cardboard, out to the side there. Another piece more packing cardboard. Okay, this looks like the headrest of the chair. Just going to put him to the side. And this is the bottom of the chair. Looks like the directions are in there. I'm just going to go right in there and pull the directions out. But I'm going to keep this plastic over here just to protect it. Whoops. Next we have the bottom legs. I'll just put those to the side for now. The seat adjustment. And we got another box of goodies here. So I'm going to put the chair to the side, the box to the side here. Open up the instructions. Okay, I'm just looking over the parts list here. So we got the headrest, the bottom seat, the seat plate, which is right here, the gas lift, which I'm assuming is this. Then we have the base, this. 5 pieces of casters, that's what this is. Then we have the back support tube. Now in bolts we have, looks like 4 1/4 inch by 3/4 inch. There's 4 of those. That's what these are. 2 1 1/4 inch by 1 inch. There's 2 of those. We have 3 one-piece brackets with plastic covers, and we have the Allen key. Now they have, here's the Allen key here. These bolts here, these look like they're the same size as these, and they call them extra parts. So that's a new one. Extra parts. Okay, so the first part of the assembly instructions on step 1 here is they put the base E, which is, this is the base. So let's grab the base here. Upside down and insert the casters into the 5 holes of the base. So let's do that part first. So first of all, I want to remove this plastic covering. And then I want to turn this upside down. Remove my casters. keep in mind, they want you to turn it upside down. So it's going to be just like this. And then you're going to insert your casters one at a time. There we go. There's one. Watch when you're doing this, you don't get your fingers caught in this. Looks like it could pinch pretty good. Next one. And then we have two more. I'll put this one in. And then the last one. There we go. So all 5 of our casters are in. So that was the first part of step 1. Then they say turn the base right side up on the floor and insert your gas lift. So I'm going to turn it over, just like they instructed. I'm going to open this box here, which should have the gas lift in it. Now they show in the picture here, let me read this first. Turn base right side up on the floor, insert the gas lift into the center hole on the base as illustrated. So they show the wider part of this, the base, or the wider part of this shock towards the bottom, which is going to go in here, and they show the smaller part at the top. So you just want to insert that in and just give it a push. I mean, over time as you sit on the chair, it's going to push it and it's going to lock into place better. Okay, so that's the end of step 1. So we're going to now move into step number 2, where we attach the seat plate to the seat cushion. Okay, so we put this to the side, and we want to get our seat plate out. Our seat cushion. This is the seat cushion, and what they're asking here is for us to attach the seat plate, which is this, to the cushion. So let me take this out. So here's the seat plate. Has a protective cover on it. Looks like they packed this pretty well. I keep thinking about those extra parts they gave, so. Okay, so we want to attach the seat plate, which is C, this is C, to the seat cushion of B. So this is B. Really, this should have on here somewhere too indicating that it's B. Maybe it did on the plastic, I didn't see that. Let me see if they have a B on here or a letter on here. No, they don't. But we know this is the seat cushion. So they have us attach the seat plate, C, to the cushion, cushion B, with the arrow on the seat plate facing the front of the chair. So they have right here front. So you'll see on the seat plate there's an arrow pointing forward. On the seat cushion you'll also notice that arrow pointing forward. So you want to take the seat plate, put it right on the seat cushion just like that. And this is where we're going to get our bolts out. So if I could find my knife here. Let's see what we got here. There we go. They should say on here what to use. 4 pieces of quarter. There's 4 pieces, 1/4 inch by 3/4 inch screws. And they have number 1. As you can see right here in the package, there's a number 1 on there. So this is the 4 screws that we're going to want to use. There we go. So since here's the 4 bolts, and I'm going to remove the Allen wrench also because we're going to need that. And I'm going to leave the other parts in there for now. There's no need to bring them out, and then that could cause us to lose them. So I'm going to take the first bolts and start putting them in. It calls for 4 bolts, 1 on each end. And I'm just going to screw them in just finger tight for now. Now keep in mind this plate has to have that arrow pointing towards the front. It says front, so does this one, pointing front. Front of the chair is this way. I think this will be a good addition to my Mainstays computer desk. I'll lock this down. Back plate. Let's get one of these bolts down. There we go. We'll move up to this one now. Okay, and they have a important note on here. Please do not tighten all the screws until all the screws are attached and barely tightened first. This makes assembly easier. So they don't want you to tighten them all down until you get all four in there. Once you get all four in there and they're flush against there, you know, they're somewhat tight, then you can go over and tighten them all up a little bit until you can't tighten anymore. I do like how this is the single tool to build this whole chair. That way you don't have to try to find your toolbox, get through all your tools and build this. One tool does it all. So you can pretty much bring this home, take it out of the box and build it because you got all the tools right here. Okay. So step 2 is completed. You're going to now flip the page. Now, this is step 3 on page 6. Now we're going to attach the back support onto the back cushion and place the bracket and plastic cover over the pivot rod. So we'll take this step by step. So the first thing we're going to want to do is get our parts ready. So what we're going to need is our back support tube, which is this. We're going to remove the plastic protective covering off of this. There we go. Let's put that to the side. I'm going to sit that down there. We're also going to need this part here, which is number 3. Let's see what they call this part. I want to go back real quick. It's called the bracket and plastic cover. That's what's inside here. So I'm going to open this up. So here's our bracket and our plastic cover. So I'm going to put those to the side. And then I'm going to go back to those instructions. We're also going to need 2 bolts. 1/4 inch by 1 inch bolts. And they show that being number 2. That's this right here. And the only extras we should have at this point are the extra parts they included. There we go. So we got our 2 bolts. We have the back support tube. We have our back cushion, which I'm going to remove the protective cover from it now. Put this over here. And we have our Allen wrench. So we should have everything we need to build this. And they have a really good figure here showing it. So there's your back support tube right there. It's going to attach to the backrest, the back cushion. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is attach the back support tube, G, onto the back cushion, A, and place the bracket and plastic cover over the pivot rod of the support tube, G. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have this adjustment part at the bottom. You're going to hold your seat up like this, and they have an arrow pointing up, meaning that's the top. So this is the way you're going to want to have this. So then you're going to want to take your bracket and feet. And I don't know how good you can see this here, but I'm pushing this down a little bit. But you want to put this in just like this. There we go. So it's going to be in there and it's going to swing back and forth almost like a hinge. And I'm doing this as I'm reading these directions, so please bear with me. The next part, you're going to take the cover over top of this, just like that. Make sure I got this. Make sure I got this in here good. There we go. So it's going to look just like this. So then you're going to want to take one of your bolts, and you know I'm doing all this right here for now, but you could take it. I was just trying to, try to get an idea what this looks like compared to what they have in the drawing here. So next I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it down just like that. I'm going to hold this up here so you can see what it looks like. So your pin comes through there, and that's what's holding it in there, holding it inside the bracket. Then we're going to put the cover over top of that. So, let me read this directions just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Attach the back support tube onto the back cushion A and place the bracket and plastic cover over the pivot rod on the back of the support tube. Apply 2 pieces, the 1/4 inch by 1 inch screws through the plastic cover and bracket, and tighten screws fully using the Allen key as illustrated. They do have an important note here saying, please do not tighten all screws. It's the same thing they said before, until all the screws are attached, and barely tighten first. This makes assembly easier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take our back cover. This top part here will go towards the top of the rest right here. So because this is the part that you want to be open to go over this arm. So you just put that right over top, just like that. Now let's put the first screw in first. And let me find my Allen wrench. Where did my Allen wrench go? Here it is. And you want to screw that down. Take our next one. You don't want to tighten it too much, just finger tight. Put the next one in. And start screwing that down. And again, you don't want to tighten it too much, not until you get both of these locked down. Okay. Now I'm going to start tightening it down. There we go. That one's locked down. Let's make sure this one's locked down. There we go. Okay, they're both locked down. Now, one thing I'm not sure about here is how far they wanted us to bring this in. I'm going to lift this up more because I believe this goes underneath there. I did that part wrong. I did not follow those directions correctly. Okay. I'm going to loosen this one up. There we go. So what you want to do is you want to make sure, because something didn't seem right here to me. You want to make sure that this part here inserts all the way into there to where it's flush. So you want to make sure, the one thing you want to make sure is your back support locks into here. So I'm going to show you how that looks. There's a space there. You just want to push that in all the way to where it locks into place. Then you can lock your screws down. I knew something didn't seem right there. I'm glad I caught that. I don't think the instructions cover that too well either. So you want to make sure you have that in there all the way. So when you lock this down, you have a nice clean fit right there. Those two should be flush. And then you can start locking it down. Spin this around. There we go. Now, it gets in there pretty tight. Alright, so that's locked down. Let me make sure this one's locked down again. Yeah, that could be turned some more. There we go. And there, now it's tight. There we go. So, as you can tell, this arm here, this back support, is attached to this back cushion. And this bracket here, you want to make sure, like I said, you want to make sure that sits inside there and it's flush. So don't make the same mistake I made by not putting it in there. So put it in there, make sure it's flush, lock them both down. Okay? Okay, so let's move on. So we just completed with step 3. We're going to now move to step 4. Now they want us to remove the plastic knob and flat washer from the end of the back support tube. So that's this part here. They want us to completely remove this. And you want to make sure you're careful here, because I can see the washers on there. There's 2 of them on there. So, say remove the plastic knob and flat washer from the end of the back support tube. Now in here they show both washers here, but according to the directions here they're only saying one. So remove the plastic knob and flat washer from the end of the back support tube G. Okay. Then using the plastic knob and flat washer, secure the back cushion A with the attached back support tube G to the seat plate on the underside of the seat cushion as illustrated. So here's our instructions here. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take our seat cushion and whoops, they show that arrow again. Make sure it's facing front. And this way here, they have it going this way. So just make sure you have this in the position that they're showing it in. And they only mention one washer, but as you can see in the illustration here, they have both washers coming off of this. So you want to take both washers off, make sure they're on the knob, take the seat assembly, lift your seat cushion like this, push that in there like that. Once you push it in there, you'll see the hole come through. Now hold this up a bit. You'll see your hole right there. So you want to start screwing this back in your knob. There we go. So we got a partial chair here. And we got the seat and the backrest completed. So that's what we have so far. So I'm going to put this to the side. So we just completed with step 4, page 7. And we're going to move into the next page here. Let's see. Step 5. So now they want us to place the assembled chair on top of the gas lift and press down until fully engaged. And it says caution, check if all parts and hardware are fixed properly before product use. Failure to fix the parts and hardware properly can render the furniture unstable and may cause damage or injury. Step 5 seems to be the last step of building this chair. So you want to take your chair apart, bring it over, and you want to flip it over where you have this hole here, and that's going to go on top of the gas assembly. So you just take it right over top. There's our gas assembly, and I'm going to hold it up here, see if you can, hopefully you can see this good, and line it up with that, and push it down on there. And there we have our chair. There's your adjustment. Let me sit on this and make sure it's holding. It's secure, which it is. And it'll go all the way down. This is the lowest position. And I'm going to raise it to the highest position. It feels really good. In fact, I think it would be really good for, for your posture, because it holds your back straight up. It's not uncomfortable. It feels right. It feels like it's perfect along the back here. For a $20 chair, it feels really good. When I swivel it, it doesn't make any noise or anything. The shocks feel good. I can hear the compressed air in them, or the gas in them. You have different positions, but it feels really good, especially if I have this at the desk and I'm using my computer. So I'll have to try this in front of my desk, see what it's like. But it feels really good. Doesn't feel cheap or anything. For a $20 chair, it feels pretty good. In fact, it feels better than a $20 chair. So let me bring this up on the table so we can look at this more. Okay, so there you have it, the fabric task chair by Mainstays. As far as assembly of the chair, I thought it was pretty easy to assemble. There was that one part on the back here where you have the tube that goes into this bracket here. You just want to make sure, I'm going to bring this chair over a bit. You just want to make sure that this tube goes inside this bracket here. And then once you get it in there, lock those 2 screws all the way down. Lock it down good. And this tube will be inside here and it won't come out. Now, one of the things I did notice once I built this chair is this adjustment, this back support does turn in and out, which is good. You don't, there's not a switch or a lever or anything to make that adjustment, but you do have some adjustment there. Down here where your lift is to raise it up and down, I felt it to be very smooth with the gas shock that they have. I also noticed that the wheels flow pretty good. They swivel and everything really well. I mean, yes, I'm on a table here and you can't really tell unless you're sitting on it, but I even tried it on the floor on the carpet and it seemed to go really well. Matter of fact, I have another chair upstairs that costs quite a bit more than this chair. And I noticed the swivels are always binding up on me. But other than that, let me talk about dimensions a little bit here. So they have on this side of the box the dimensions. So this chair is 30.5 inches from the floor to the top here. Also, you have 16.3 inches from the floor to the height of the seat here. The distance between this is 21.7 inches. So, I think it's a really good chair. For 20 bucks, you really can't beat it. And I'm going to include a link in the video where you can view this and also purchase it. They do have it over at Walmart. I think it paid $19.99, which it really isn't that bad. I mean, if you get it and you won't like it, you can always return it. The one thing I did notice that this cushion here is prone to pick up like little pieces of lint and things like that. And it could just seem like you could just wipe it off. It's just like anything else. But other than that, I think it's a really good chair. It seems like it's constructed very well. It has some weight to it, this thing. And you know, as far as the assembly, I mean, look at that. Look at that package they included. It had extra parts. I mean, how often do you see that? You know, yeah, you will usually end up with extra parts, but that's because we didn't build it right, and we had the extra parts from that. But no, they're including 2 extra bolts, and just in case you would lose a couple of these bolts. You had the single Allen wrench, so no tools needed to build it. Everything's within this package here. Come home, open the chair, put it on your living room floor, and just build it. Everything's right here, and anybody can build it. So if you have any questions or any comments or anything, let me know. Please like and subscribe. And thanks for taking the time and watching me build this chair today. Have a great day.